Welcome to Homeroom, your school for home buying tips. If you've been thinking about buying a home or changing homes, then you need to actually listen up, because today I'm going to talk about the U.S. government's home buyer tax credit that ends on April 30th. The home buyer tax credit is $8,000 of money the government is handing out to qualifying first-time home buyers. And the good news is they've actually improved the program since last November by expanding it, so repeat home buyers can also get a check of up to $6,500. So let's start with a first-time home buyer. First off, first-time buyer doesn't really mean you have to be a true first-time buyer. This program is for anyone that hasn't owned a home in the past 3 years. So even if you have owned a home before, as long as it was more than 3 years ago, you're considered a first-time home buyer. And if you buy a home before the deadline, you can get a tax credit of up to 10% of the purchase price, or a maximum of $8,000. In other words, if you buy a house for $80,000 or more, you get an $8,000 tax credit. Also, since this program was extended last November, more people now qualify. Individuals who earn $125,000 or less, or families that earn $225,000 or less, now qualify. By the way, when they call this a tax credit, that's actually kind of a confusing term, because it can end up being real money in your pocket. You see, when you submit your tax return, you simply fill out the qualification form and submit the proof of purchase for the home. Then you can take up to $8,000 right off your taxes. And here's the good part. If you owe less than $8,000, well, the government's going to write you a check for the difference. So, for example, if you only owe the government $3,000 in taxes, then you get a check for $5,000. And if you owe nothing, you get a check for the full amount. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this program was expanded to include current homeowners as well. Here's how that works. If you owned your own home as a primary residence for 5 or more consecutive years in the last 8 years, and buy a new primary residence between November 7th, 2009 and April 30th, 2010, you may also qualify for a tax credit of up to $6,500. However, the home you buy does need to be $800,000 or less. But the good news is, it doesn't matter what kind of home you're actually moving to. So you can actually move up to a nicer home or downsize to a smaller, cheaper home and still qualify. You can even lease your current home and buy a new primary residence. Now, the most important thing, and I cannot emphasize this enough, is that these tax credits are expiring very soon. In order to qualify, you must have a home under contract no later than April 30th, 2010, and the home must fund and close no later than June 30th. This means if you haven't already begun looking, you need to start really soon. As this is a government program, there's naturally a lot of fine print, and we're not going to cover this all in this video. So contact your realtor or visit our website for more details. But here's some things to know. The program not only is for homes, but you can also purchase condos, townhomes, manufactured homes, actually even some kind of houseboats even qualify. And if you're in the military and have been serving outside the United States for the past 90 days, then you may qualify to get an extension for an extra year. If you want all the details, visit our website at www.stlagent.com and click on the tax credit link at the top of the website, or feel free to call Kimberly or Randy at the St. Louis agent team of RE/MAX Properties West at telephone 314-598-4040. And for more information, remember to follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/STLagent.